welcome back to the channel. As you can see today, I'm not dressed up. I'm just in regular clothing, no makeup, not all fancy today, because in today's video I will be sharing with you guys my Jamaican curry style chicken feet. This is my recipe. I'm not gonna say that it is the recipe because different people cook different things in different ways. So it is actually Monday, January 23rd. And I'm gonna be making dinner today because I didn't cook over the weekend, and I figured why not share my recipe with you. It is simple and easy. In my opinion, it's not too hard. I will be just showing all the ingredients that I typically use most times when I make this. It's been a while since I've made it, but happy Monday, guys, and this is let's cook dinner together. Chicken feet that I have. It's dripping. That's okay. I'll clean that up. So this is 2 pounds, or almost 2 pounds. So this is what I'm going to be preparing. I'm going to show you guys how I clean it up and how I season it. So it's dripping everywhere. Let's go ahead and jump into the video, guys. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how I clean and prep the chicken feet. So this is it in the package right now. Hopefully you guys can see it clearly. And then I have a pan right here that I'm gonna clip the toes off, put it in here. And then I have my vinegar. This is just some regular distilled vinegar that I'm gonna use to clean it. So the toes, I don't know, as I said, different people prepare this differently, but I always cut all the toes off. I don't necessarily want to eat toenails, so we're gonna get rid of that off. It's not a lot, and these are pretty clean. Sometimes the insides here have like dirt on it and you have to take that out, but these are pretty clean. This is just a little split in the skin, but you cut the toes off like that. If it was a little bit thicker, or if I was making more, I would chop it in half, but I'm not gonna do that today. I'm just gonna cut the toes off, wash them, oops, and clean them with distilled vinegar. Okay, so everything is cut up now. This is what it looks like. So I'm gonna wash it with the vinegar once. So this is what I'm talking about when I say sometimes it has dirt in the middle, but you can just take your scissors. So we got most of it out, but we're still gonna wash it. So this is the vinegar. I'm gonna pour some in here. You guys can see. So you're gonna wash it with the vinegar once. Make sure you have gloves on because it's still raw chicken. So we have that all clean. Another important thing to remember, I'm gonna take this off because it's still raw chicken. Why is everything falling? Because it's raw chicken, make sure that you clean the area. Let me show you the pot that I use. So this is a pressure cooker. The stove is on. This is a pressure cooker. This is the one that I have. You can use any pressure cooker that you have. It doesn't necessarily have to look like this, but this is my pressure cooker, and this is the lid. So this I'm gonna put on and close tight so it can pressure. I mostly use this for meats that take a longer while to cook. And with chicken feet, it does take a longer time to cook. And then your stove, turn that down to a medium because you don't want it to be too hot when you pour the chicken feet in there, because I'm not gonna put water in it at first. So I don't want the oil to be, I need it to be hot, but I don't want it to be too hot. And then this is the oil that I'm gonna be using. It's not a lot of oil, but I'll show you guys later how much I'm gonna pour into the pot. So I'm gonna let that heat up, and then I'm gonna show you guys how I season my chicken feet. My hands are so dry. Anyways, so as mentioned before, turn your stove medium heat, and all the seasonings that I'll be using today, I combined it in this dish right here. There we go. So all the seasonings that you see here is all the seasonings that I use, because in my opinion, I think that chicken feet, it's hard to give it flavor, because I don't know if it's because it's not really meat and it's collagen, but I use some all-purpose gray seasoning. Of course, I have my olive oil that I'm gonna pour over it. I have some cowboy butter seasoning. We bought this, well, my husband bought this at a market. Ignore my hands, guys, they're really dry. We have some chili powder. We have some Grace chicken seasoning. We have a little bit of paprika. And we have a little bit of sage. You don't want to use too much of this. Garlic powder. I have my thyme. There is some red pepper flakes. That's what that is. Some minced onion. A little dash of pink Himalayan salt. And I also have some allspices, because what is a Jamaican dish without allspices? And then I'm gonna add a little bit of turmeric for color, and of course flavor. Then we have our black pepper greens. And then over here we have our actual garlic. I'm also going to be using a little bit of coconut milk. And this is the star of the show. If you know, you know that this is the best curry in Jamaica. My mom brought this for me when she came to visit, but you can use any curry that you have, but this is the one that I have, and this is the one that I love. So I'm going to go ahead. I have all of this already combined. I'm just going to pour it on here. Then I'm gonna move over here to the wrong way I'm gonna add some oil, but not too much. It's really hot, guys, so be super careful. All that stuff that you see in the bottom, that's just from cooking all kinds of meats. So that's as much oil as you need. And swish it around. Now I need to turn it down to low, like really low. I'm also cooking rice and beans, but I'm gonna show you guys how I add the curry to the pot to burn it. So the heat is on medium. I'm sorry, it's on low right now because I'm gonna burn the curry. But you have to be very careful because curry can stain your countertop or whatever it touches. So I'm just gonna pour one. I'm not using a measuring cup or a measuring spoon, so I would say that's about one Oops, that's about 1 tablespoon. I'm gonna switch it around. Not switch, swish. You're gonna swish it around so that it can burn. And then by the time that burns, we're gonna add the chicken feet to the pot so that it can start cooking. There you go. I'm also going to be adding some turmeric to that as well. As I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna be using it for color and flavor. I'm gonna add a little bit of that in there. Not too much on the turmeric because it does have a really strong taste. So we're gonna add that. We're gonna leave the curry and the turmeric to burn, and then we're going to season the chicken feet. It shouldn't take too long. You should give it maybe about 1 minute because you don't want it to burn too much because then it's gonna taste like it's burnt. So don't ignore it or leave it for too long. We're gonna come back and mix that around. Even though we've already added the curry to the pot, we're just gonna put a little dash of curry on the chicken feet. Not too much. All the seasonings that I've used, guys, I'm gonna be sad when this is done. All the seasonings that I've used, I would say I've probably used like 1 teaspoon. I wouldn't say 1 teaspoon, maybe like 1 teaspoon, half a teaspoon of each powdered seasoning because I don't want it to be too salty. So we're gonna mix that and let's check on our, that's how it's looking. Yum, yum, yum. Make sure you use not a lot of curry, but make sure you use enough because you don't want your curry to be white. You need it to be rich and yellow. So this is what it's looking like right now. This whole time I thought I was recording when I was putting the chicken feet in the pot, but apparently I was not. But anyways, I burnt the curry as mentioned before, and then I added all the chicken feet to the pot. I had it on low heat, but I brought it up to medium heat so that it can start cooking a little faster. Not too fast, but a little faster. I am going to leave it there like this for 5 minutes, and then we're going to come back and check on it, but I'm going to show you guys the veggies that I'm going to be using. And I'm just going to put the cover on there. I'm not going to close it all the way because I'm still waiting for it to heat up a little bit more. And then I'm going to add water and close it for it to start cooking even faster in the pressure cooker. So these are some of the veggies that I'll be using today, or these are the veggies that I'll be using today. I have some carrots. I have a piece of turmeric somewhere in there. I have some scallion. You might not be able to see it. And then I have a hot pepper. But these are going to go in afterwards. This is what I'm going to add. I'm also going to add some onions. And then if you recall earlier, this is the pan that we used to season the chicken feet. I added about a cup of water to it because now I'm going to add it to the pressure cooker so that I can close it and have it pressure the chicken feet so it could cook a little bit faster. Back over to our chicken feet. We left it there for a couple minutes, 5 minutes the most. Be very careful. We're about to add the cup of water. Be very careful. So we're gonna pour that in all the way. I'm gonna pour it in. It's gonna get a little smoky depending on the pot that you have. Water, so you guys can see. I can't cook without cleaning as I go along. It really bothers me. So anyways, I'm gonna cover that with the cup of water that we have. So with my pressure cooker, things cook really fast, so I just run it for, oh, I can flip the camera. I just run I run my pressure cooker for minimum, I want to say like no more than 10 minutes because it cooks really fast. So I'm going to leave that to cook, put away the seasonings and everything, and then we'll come back and check on that. So the pressure cooker has cooled down now. So we're going to remove the lid. I'm going to remove this first. There's no more steam coming. That's how you know that it is ready. Then you're going to remove the lid. Make sure that there's no pressure when you're removing the lid. I just removed the lid, guys, after pressuring it for 10 minutes in a cup of water. Just gonna bring it over here. This is what we're working with. There's still a little stuff stuck to the bottom, but that's fine. We're gonna take care of that later. So this is what we're working with. Let me try to show you guys. So it's all the way pressured. I'm gonna be using some unsweetened coconut milk. This is the brand that I use. Well, I use different brands. I don't necessarily stick to just one, but this is the one that I have now. I think we got this at Sam's Club. So I have about half a cup of coconut milk that I'm gonna go ahead and pour in there because I've already used most of it to make rice and peas, so I'm just using the leftovers. Go ahead and add that. And then we're gonna also go ahead and add our carrots and potatoes that we had cut up earlier. And I also have a hot pepper that I showed you that I'm gonna drop in there. So let's just out of the way. So carrots, potatoes. This is a piece of turmeric. And I'm not wearing gloves because I'm not cooking for anyone except for me and my husband. So this is a piece of ginger. I'm gonna pour that in there. I'm gonna just add everything. We're gonna add the cilantro and the scallion. I'm also gonna be adding some onions as well, but I'm gonna put that in afterwards. And I'm just gonna add a little bit more water. I don't like a lot of gravy, so I don't cook with a lot of gravy. So I'm gonna add just a little tip of water. We're gonna mix that around. And I'm gonna put the lid on for another 2 minutes or so and let it cook. Then we're gonna come back, add our onion, and then add some black pepper to that. Let me see if I can bring it close. Let that cook down for about 5 minutes. 2 to 5 minutes. We just need to make sure that the potatoes and the carrots get cooked. Then we're gonna add the onion and some black pepper. Almost done. Quick and easy. Okay guys, so we are finally done, and this is the final product. This is the chicken feet. I made some rice and peas, and then I made some fish. So this is it. I'm gonna go and have dinner now. Try this recipe and let me know what you think. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.